Hey, this is Louis D. Fresh, bringing it to you on a Friday afternoon. I hope you are doing well. This is a new vantage point, a new view. What we're doing is, I had the privilege of, in my school, I told you I'm no longer a supervisor, I'm a school counselor again. And as I was wandering around the last couple of weeks, I've had the privilege of kind of seeing things, and I noticed this particular classroom had a fish tank. And this is important because you need to know the facts before when you're dealing with fish. You need to know what's going on. This young lady had a fish tank, and the fish tank was used before. That's important because if it's not used, it usually needs a little bit more time for it to settle in. So since it was used, there is some kind of dried up bacteria. So therefore, what I did was that I saw what was there. I decided to take out the artificial plants, take out the incandescent bulbs because they don't grow plants, and get some a plant specific for plants, and then and I get rid of the plastic plants. When I did that, I just think it would be a better fit. This is a simple classroom, nothing crazy, and I want to keep it simple. So let me show you what we got. So this is where she has it's right here, it's by a sink. And I told them, and again, for I guess a quick reminder, please never ever use soap. Never ever use regular tap water. Remember, your tap water always contains chlorine. I always wanted to make sure that it was able to, kids were able to turn on the faucet without like knocking it over or anything like that. So she had this tank already that was here, and she had some fluorescent incandescent bulb that I don't like at all because they just burn out so quickly. But she already had for those people who are young at heart, or who are young, there you remember the SpongeBob, the pineapple. It is right here, so I want to make sure. And if she wants to add some more stuff, she can. I'm not, it's their tank. But you notice also there was already some gravel under here. I decided, you know what, it already had dried up bacteria, so I said let's keep the bacteria going. But as I've used in all my planted tanks, this is a planted tank. I use some Eco Complete. I get 10 pounds. This is a 10-gallon tank. Usually 1 pound per gallon works out really well. Then, so what I added, number one, was we have here the, what do you call those things? The power strip. Remember, I live in zone 10B, so I definitely get some thunderstorms. And if you look way back on my archives, I do talk about the zones that we live in. So keeping that in mind, I wanted to get a strip here, power strip, so we don't have anything burning out. I have the timer, like I have told you, I've shown you before, and other YouTubers have mentioned timers. Timers are important because this way you don't have to think about it. You plug it in, you put in the times you want. Usually 8 to 9 hours is plenty, so you may want to look at that. So keep it simple, so you don't make your life simple. And this is important. You notice the little grooves here? That tells you it is for a planted tank. They have another one that is it's flat. And when it's flat, that means it's not for a planted tank. So you may want to make sure you get the one that has the grooves here. It tells you that it is for a planted tank. And these are the LED lights. Always important to have both white and blue. If you have just the blue or you just have the white, you're not going to grow anything. So that's why that's most important. So that's one thing that I wanted to accentuate. Remember, you look way back, and I believe this is the video that the most views that I have on my channel. It has about 15,000 views, which is kind of amazing. It's the HOB, hang on the back filter. And again, nice and simple. Have yourself just change that filter out once a month. I got some backups already. I put them in my office. I try not to mess with that scrubber because that's where all the bacteria is going to be living. So again, I have that back here on my power strip. So I got the light with the timer. I got the power strip here with the filter. Then what we have going on here is you don't need it, but it helps. I have an air stone going back here. I have noticed that the air stone is not needed, but it kind of helps the tank, helps everything kind of moving around, and helps kind of keeps things flowing. And since I'm going to have feeder guppies, common guppies, whatever we want to call them, really the smaller guppies, I'm going to have so many of them in here that it's just going to make it a lot easier to just have them breathing. And so that's why you see all this great movement going on around here. So that's the other thing. Again, I have it attached somewhere. I don't even know where the heck I put it. There's the motor. I see it right there. Again, all courtesy of the wonderful people at Amazon. I like the silicone air tube. Silicone air tubes, it's a lot more flexible. It doesn't kink, and I'm trying to make my life simple. So that's why I use the silicone. Write it down, silicone air tube. Now, the other thing that I wanted to bring across was the heater. You see right there. You see that green light? You see it right there? Right there, that tells me that it is off and it is set to 78 degrees. In this age of 2025, get yourself a heater that's preset. This way you don't have to fiddle with it and go, oh my God, is it too hot? Is it too cold? Keep it simple, nice and easy, and you just plop it in the back there, and you don't have to worry about anything because I told you, again, living in South Florida, it's generally hot. But it is inside. The air conditioning gets kind of cold. I'm even touching the la tapa here, what do you call this? Whatever it's called. It's cold. It's chilly. So that's why it's important to have a heater going on there. And last but not least, in this lovely 10-gallon tank, I got some Java Fern from the neighborhood fish farm. And there we have the Java Fern. Christy was very nice and split it for me in two. I just wanted to make my life a lot easier. Instead of putting in a whole slab in there, she cut it in two. Again, I don't want to put any fertilizer in here. I want to keep my life simple. So that's why I have it here, just as you see it. And I got these from my own fish tank, which I need to trim on my own here. The cornwort. I like the hornwort, as I told you. If you look back at my archives under Species Sunday for plants, I mentioned this, and I do mention the Anacris. And again, the light going on here. And as you can see, unlike my house, there is no sunlight coming here. So everything is relied on this. So I got these from my house, from my my Molly tank. I cut it in I cut a piece off, and I cut another piece off. And then it looks as such. I think there's actually a snail that hitched on here. I'm sure there's several snails. There's another snail. So now, amazingly, it is clear. I didn't think it would be clear. It's going to get cloudy. It may get cloudy because it's adjusting to the new environment. And so hopefully not this coming Wednesday, but next Wednesday, we will put in some feeder guppies from my tanks. And so we'll do a little follow-up, but right now it is settling in, and it is important. Remember, knowing that this tank has been already used, I can cut off a week from the cycling time, so I'm going to give it 2 weeks to cycle. And there you go. The young lady is wonderful to feed my addiction of aquarium fishes. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed it. I just noticed I was abandoned. I have nobody here. There was people in here initially. I hope you enjoyed it. I know another teacher's found out that I am a fish guru, or whatever that means. And I may be setting up another fish tank there, and I'll go through it too. Hopefully it'll be similar setup. And it's funny, the kids are calling me the fish guy, and so I think it's cool. So I know this is not what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to do a Species Sunday on a particular fish, but I figured I just set this tank up, and I wanted it to be authentic. This is how I set it up, and it was on the fly, let me tell you, between, just finishing it when I could. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the kids enjoy it. That's the real reason I'm doing it. It's not for me, it's for them. And that's it. This is Louis D. Fresh.